pews. It's not the brick on the walls. This is only a place that the church meets.
Come on now.
And we're so thankful tonight. I am, and I know you are too, to be in the church. Jesus said in Matthew 15 or 16, verses 18 and 19, I didn't give you that, but we've been reading it every week, and maybe we need to read it one more time. Jesus told Peter, he said, I'm going to build my church, and the gates of hell shall not be able to prevail against it. He said, I'll give unto thee the keys of the kingdom of heaven. And whatsoever thou shalt bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever thou shalt loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. There's a lot of people that are fighting things. I mean fighting, they're actually struggling for their own spiritual life.
For their soul.
There's a lot of chaos in homes and a lot of confusion. And when you begin to see these things, you automatically know that it is nothing more than the devil.
That's the truth.
If you give him an inch, he'll take a mile.
Yes, sir.
If you open yourself up and make an avenue for him to get inside, he will come inside. And the first thing you know, the Holy Ghost will be gone.
Yeah.
God said, I'm holy, be ye holy, for I am holy, and without holiness. I know people say, well, this is the 21st generation. I don't care what generation.
What generation you're from.
God's word stands forever.
Yeah.
He said, my word is forever settled.
Do not
That means it cannot be changed, it cannot be altered.
Amen.
I've had people tell me, well, you just slack up a little bit and give a little area in here, we could probably build this church up. They told Brother Abear the same thing years ago, Brother Strickland.
Exactly.
He said, what would I have? I'd have a building full,
Just full of people.
of people that did not know God.
Come on. Come on. I'd lock the
We've
doors.
got to make up our minds that we're going to be the church.
And nothing
God doesn't change his rule
for nobody.
God does not change his laws for different generations. We have to understand that. So this series on the church is discovering about God's blueprints.
Yes, sir.
For building his church. I want that's not it. It's just a picture of a blueprint.
Yes, sir.
That was some slides from when we studied the Ark of the Covenant and the Tabernacle in the Wilderness. But this one is just it's a drawing of a sketch of what a house is. And all it is, I know she just put it up there. You may have to go ask her. We're going to move on without it, but I was hoping to get that up there. I want you to get the understanding. What is the purpose of a blueprint?
It's the big building, the structure.
Okay? With the blueprint, you usually get a bill of materials, what you're going to need. You don't have a blueprint. I've tried to build some things without a blueprint. Yeah, you need it.
Amen.
If you want it to be what it's supposed to be. Sure.
The logos of God is the word, that's the plan.
The logos of God, which is the Word of God. That's his plan. If that blueprint says you need 40 rafters, 22 foot long, and you make them 21 3/4, guess what's going to happen? Your bird nest on that rafter is going to be wrong. Instead of sitting on that top plate and locking in, it's going to be a little bit short. And you may not understand bird's nest or the notches, but when you lay rafters out, you got a roof, some of them are 4 on 12. That's what Brother Zeno's house is. You got 5 on 12. This church here is about a 2 on 12. And it's just almost like an apron is what it's like. In Acts chapter 5, verse 2, in Acts chapter 5, verse 2, he said, and kept back part of the price. We got to have honest motives. Why do we live for God? Because our wife expects us to?
Why do
Because
we
our husband expects
do
us
it?
to? Because the pastor expects me to?
What drives it?
What is our motive? Motive is everything. Motive is what activates us and drives us. What is our motive?
Spirit driven.
We have to have an honest motive. Why I'm doing it is just as important as doing it.
Yes.
We have to have an honest motive. In Acts chapter 5, verse 2, said, and kept back part of the price. His wife also being privy to it, and brought a certain part and laid it at the apostles' feet. He's talking about Ananias and Sapphira.
Right.
During this time, basically everyone who had a job gave his entire salary into a common pool. And everyone who had property sold it and gave the proceeds into the same fund. Then everyone in the church had their basic needs met by living in common on the money that was placed in the pool. It was the blueprint. He's got the blueprint.
Yeah.
She does.
We got it.
Thank God. Did some work for my sister last year when Hurricane Harvey, a couple of years ago, and Harvey came through. When I got there, she said, I want to make some changes while you got everything tore out. She said, in my bedroom, I want you to take part of the other bedroom, the small bedroom, and I want you to make me a walk-in closet from my bedroom. I said, how big you want it? I don't know. I said, well, how am I supposed to build it? She said, well, just take part of the other room. So I went in a little bedroom, a little bitty tiny bedroom, 8 foot. Thank you, Sister Annabelle. And I went into that other bedroom and I took 4 foot. And she had a 2 foot closet, and that made her a 6 foot closet. I framed everything up. I framed up the double doors. And I had it, and I called her. I said, you need to come look and see if this is okay. And she said, oh God, that's way too big. I said, well, since you didn't have no plans, I said, a standard walk-in closet is 8 foot. 4 by 8, where you can walk up in there. And I said, that's a standard walk-in closet. I said, that's just kind of code.
That's basic.
Well, then why didn't you make it that way? I said, because you said you wanted me to use part of the other closet.
Whoa.
Well, that's just too big. I don't have enough clothes to fill up a closet that big. And I used an air nailer, and everything was nailed together. And I tore up most of the 2x4s trying to get it unnailed. Because the nails I was using has glue on them, and when you shoot it in, that glue
That's it.
swells up and you can't hardly get it apart. But I tore it apart, and I just brought it back and made it 4 foot. Only 2 foot was sticking over into her other room. I called her, and I said, come take a look at this. Well, I'm sure. I said, no, I'm not going to go. I'm sure. You come look. She came and said, well, that's too small.
Not again.
I said, I'm going outside and sit under the tree. Here's my tape measure. You and your daughter get in there and measure out and decide what you want. And I said, I'm going to go get some new material. And I said, I'm going to pay for it. And I got some 3.5-inch screws, and I screwed it together. And when I got it put back together, she said, well, that steel just looks way too big. I had only added a foot. I said, well, I'm going back to Louisiana. And I hope you, and then she went to crying, and I don't mean to upset you. I said, well, you don't have no dimensions. you have no measurement.
No specs.
And I'm just trying to do the best I can. A lot of people live for God that way.
Amen.
They just try to do the best they
Just
can.
like that.
They do what they kind of think is right. But God gave us a blueprint.
Yeah.
If you look on there, there's a bathroom there, and it tells you how wide that door is. It tells you how high that ceiling's going
Yes,
to be.
sir.
It gives you all the dimensions so that you can build that home the way it's supposed to be. And tonight, God gave us a blueprint
Yes, sir.
to follow in living for Him.
Yes,
He said we must live holy.
Yes.
I can't offer it because the church down the street's doing it. I get asked that all the time. Well, why does this church get to do it and we don't? I said, I don't pastor that church.
I'm not the shepherd of that church.
I said, when he stands before God, he'll have to give an account of whatever he's allowing somebody to do. But I said, here, we're going to try to adhere to the Word of God. Our motive must be right. I want to live for God because I want to be right with Him. That's my motive. If it don't make somebody happy, I'm sorry. I'm going to stay with the book. And if I stay with the book, and if you stay with the book, friend of mine, you're going to hear that trumpet sound. And when you stand before God, you're going to be so happy that you stayed with the blueprint. Brother Strickland, what Ananias did was not wrong. He sold his land. God didn't have nothing against him for selling his land. He brought money to Peter, and God was happy about that until Ananias said, I sold it for this amount.
He lied about the price.
And he lied. And Peter said, who has convinced you to lie to the Holy Ghost?
You just lied to
He said, even now the men are coming through the door to haul your body out, and Ananias dropped dead.
the grave's already dug.
And a little while later, here comes his wife. They had sat down and had morning coffee. If they would have said, and they got 10,000, I'm just using a figure, and they got 10,000, and Ananias and Sapphira would have said, you know what, I want us to give 5,000 to the church. And when I get there, I'm going to tell Brother Peter, I sold my property, and I want to give 5,000 to the
That
church.
would have pleased God.
God would have been so thrilled.
Amen.
But he lied and said, this is what I sold it for.
Dear God.
Pastor friend of mine called me a while back. He said, do you have people in your church that live on $5? I said, what are you talking about? He said, they put in the envelope in the offering plate and they marked tithes, $5.
That's amazing.
Now, if you're paying $5 and that's what you have, and you're giving God your 10%, God is more pleased with that than He is somebody that put 1,000 in there and they really should have put 10,000.
That's the truth.
There's a blueprint that you and I must follow
We
if
can't
we want to
avoid
be the church. I can't walk and talk one thing and think something else.
Amen.
My motive has to be that I want to be obedient to the word of God. Ananias' plan was simple. He decided to give only part of his money, but to tell the apostles he was giving full.
My God.
We do things today that we know that are not right,
Oh yeah.
and God don't
I
zap us
know full
dead.
well.
You know what it does? It motivates us to keep doing that same thing.
Yes, sir.
I told a guy the other day, I say, God keeps good records.
Very good record.
I said, and I may get by with something today, but there's a day of accounting coming if I'm doing wrong and living with it unrepented.
That's right.
Every one of us are doing wrong.
That's the truth. It will be.
His sin was not having land. His sin was not having possessions
No.
or money.
No. That wasn't it.
But to tell the apostles he was giving all, by doing this, he would be able to secretly save money for his own wants in the future.
Wow.
While the church met all of his needs in the present.
That's something
I got
else.
a letter not long ago. It was offering some kind of, they said it's a Christian organization, and you pay in so much every month, and said it's way below what you pay for your medical insurance. And then they said when you go to the hospital, that Christian organization, just you send them the bill, they just pay it out. I said, that sounds real good.
Come on, Pastor, preach.
My luck, I'd get in there and have a big hospital bill, and they say, sorry, we don't have that much, you're on your own. Brother Benesky sold insurance. He may still sell insurance. But Ananias' sin was twofold. Number one was covetousness.
Double jeopardy.
Wanting for the flesh what belonged to God.
Rightfully to God.
I went up Friday. Most of you heard me say I went up and didn't have the right keys and I couldn't get in. But I said, while I'm here, I'm going to pay my tithing. And I went over and I paid my tithing. And preachers pay tithing too.
Yeah. All of us do.
And I paid my tithing, and I didn't notice Brother Cox walked up behind me. When he did, he put his arm around under my chin and pulled me up real close. And he said, what's my money doing this morning? I said, well, I came to winterize my cabin, and I brought the wrong key. So I decided I would pay my tithes while I was here. Woo! He said, I always love when these preachers pay their tithes. And then I turned around and looked at it. He said, but God loves it more than I do.
Yes.
And that's the truth. When I refuse to be obedient. The other sin that Ananias had was hypocrisy.
Two-faced.
Anybody ever called you a hypocrite?
Two-faced.
You ever heard somebody say that's just a pure old hypocrite? I was preaching in Ohio several years ago, and preaching that the pastor took me out to eat, Brother Strickland, and he took us to a nice steakhouse. He said, get what you want, it's on me. And so I didn't, temptation said get the biggest T-bone they got. I just got a little 8 ounce. And the pastor said, I got to run to the restroom, and he took off, and the waiter come up, and I said, hey man, how you doing? I said, we're so glad you're the one waiting on us today. Just trying to help their feelings. Because I don't know if you've ever waited tables. That's a tough job. And most of those guys only get $2 or $3 an hour. They depend on tips. And I said, man, I'm preaching over here at the church and here in Ohio, and told him the pastor's name. And he said, well, I hear he's a great pastor, but I'm not going to that church.
Wow.
I said, what's wrong? He said, them people from his church comes over here on Sunday, and all they do is grumble and complain, and nothing's ever right. And he said, they'll put $1 on the table and tip me. He said, they ain't nothing but a bunch of hypocrites.
Whoa.
I said, look, I tell you what. I said, I'm going to go ahead and pay my tip in advance. And the pastor was one of his friends, paying for it. And I opened up, and all I had was a $50 bill. And he's standing there waiting. I just pulled that 50 out. I said, here you go, buddy. I said, man, you're a great waiter. I said, man, I appreciate you. And I would really love you to come and be in service. Church. He said, they're just hypocrites. I said, come over there and point them all out to me. And I said, Will, you can help me pray them through.
We'll pray them through.
Well, he really liked that. That night I was sitting on the platform in church and getting ready to start. The musicians were kind of tuning up, and I saw him walk in, and I got up and left and went through the back door because I knew he was looking for me. He had a pad. He wanted to list everybody that was a hypocrite. Everybody that didn't pay a tip. So the pastor started service, and when it was time for me to preach, I came out. I kept listening, and he said, well, where's our evangelist? And I just walked out and got up and preached that night, and the power of God fell. And that old boy got up and came down, Brother Zeno, to the front and knelt at the altar and began to weep and pray. So they was praying, people was all over the front praying, and I walked down there and began to pray with him. And I told him, I said, look, just pour it out. Put it on the altar. Just turn it over to God. All that bitterness and hatred. And he just laid it on the altar. It wasn't long until God filled it with the Holy Ghost. And when we got through praying, I got him on the altar the other day. I heard it around. I said, okay, start pointing them out. Which ones is it?
Start writing them
I
down.
don't see none. That's what the Holy Ghost did to him.
Yeah.
God got the bitterness out of him, and he
Cleaned
didn't
it
see
out.
no hypocrites. And I talked with that pastor. I saw him maybe 2-3 years ago. I saw him at the cause of the time. I went up and I said, that old boy that way, is he still in church? He said, man, he's on one of my bus routes. He's bringing people to church.
Wow.
That was the best $50 I ever spent.
Amen.
It really was. It left me broke. But it was the best $50. I didn't want that man to ever point a finger and say, there's a way to go to hell.
Yeah.
What was my motive? To impress him? No, my motive was to try to get him to come to church. Motive is everything.
It's everything.
These sins are often closely tied together under an area we call motives.
Surely.
The word motive simply means the real reason for an action.
Yes, sir.
If you could ask that man that shot your nephew, John, what was his real motive? Why did you do it?
What's your intention?
Has anybody ever done something and after you did it, you said, I wish to God I hadn't done that. I wish to God I hadn't said
Oh
that.
God, why did I do that?
What was your motive? Anger?
What possessed me?
What was your motive? Fear?
What possessed me, Jesus?
To be the church, we have to have the right motive. Ananias' sins begs us to ask ourselves 2 questions. Am I serving my flesh or God in my everyday choices I make?
Come on now.
Am I doing it to make my flesh happy, or am I doing it to make God happy?
Oh Jesus.
Got a phone call this afternoon. Person hadn't seen him in a while and getting a just really heavy burden. Told him, I said, I have to go to Texas tomorrow. And I said, Wednesday, I said, I want us all to get together and sit down and let's pray and let's work through some of
My
this
God,
stuff.
Jesus.
We have to understand the motive is so very vital. Covetousness. Coveting is the uncontrolled desire to acquire.
That's bad.
I know a lady somewhere between the North Pole and the South Pole. She can't control buying things. You go in her house and there's just a little aisle for her to walk.
And that's it.
And it's just piled up on both sides. She don't want anybody to come visit her because she's ashamed. I said, well, just get rid of some of this junk. Oh, but I caught them on. She had some little cups with roosters on it. And she had a whole case of them, 36 of them.
Same cup.
I said, what are you going to do with 36 rooster cups? Oh, but they were on sale. I just couldn't help. I said,
Couldn't resist them.
does she have a lot of money? No. She just coveted it. The impulse for wanting is a very necessary part for being human.
Yes, sir.
Without this particular form of energy, people would be inactive and unmotivated. However, it is also true that a human desires, nature desires more than it needs.
Amen.
A journalist asked the late John D. Rockefeller one time, I came across this article the other day. The reporter asked John D. Rockefeller how much wealth was enough. He was one of the richest men on the face of the earth.
My God.
How much is enough? You know what his answer was? Just a little bit more.
My God, Jesus.
Did he need it? No. But his nature desired it. There are no surveys indicating that people are any happier with a lot of stuff.
Right.
One interviewer asked several instant millionaires, how many of you you are happy today than you was yesterday since you won the lottery?
All right now.
Not one of them responded positive. One winner replied, every time you get something nicer, it's not good enough because you see them want something that's even nicer.
Oh yeah.
That's covetousness.
That's the truth.
Turn to 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verse 9 and 10. If we're going to be the church that God built, you know what Scripture says? Behold the lilies of the field.
Yeah.
There's nothing like
That's a
it.
good example.
He said, the little sparrow that falls, I see every one of them that falls.
I know how many die.
There's a scripture said he knows the number of hairs on our head. I keep God mixed up.
Amen.
I keep falling out. He's keeping tabs on that with a chalkboard in heaven. There must be a lot of another floor. But 1 Corinthians 6, 9 and 10 says, know ye not that the unrighteous shall not
You'll never
inherit the kingdom of
You'll
God?
never do it.
That's, yeah, a little child can understand that. Be not deceived, neither fornicators,
Come on.
or idolaters, nor adulterers, nor effeminates, or abusers of themselves with mankind, nor thieves, nor covetous, nor drunkards, nor revelers, or extortioners shall inherit the kingdom of God.
That's pretty straightforward.
Coveting is what you might call a seed sin,
Straightforward from the head.
because it can quickly lead to other sins.
Yeah.
My mama used to stand there and she had a belt. She said, did you do this? Somebody called and said, we saw your son doing this. I go, well, not exactly, trying to sugarcoat it. And this is what she told me, Brother Zeno, right before she put that belt across my backside. She said, Ronnie, tell the truth, because tomorrow you can repeat the truth.
Yes, sir.
If you tell a lie today, you got to tell a bigger lie tomorrow to cover that one.
That's the truth.
That's why it's called a seed sin.
My God.
It just keeps growing. The Bible tells us that coveting was the original sin behind the fall of man. What did the devil do? He offered her the fruit
Yeah.
from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. And the Bible says that Eve looked at it. He said, go ahead and touch it. She tasted it.
Come on now.
She coveted it.
My God.
I'm going to tell you the truth. If one of y'all get a new car, I'm going to rejoice with you.
I don't want your business.
I am. But it don't mean I'm going to go buy me one.
I don't want you to know.
Wife tells me I'm too tight. She said, sometimes, husband, you squeak when you walk. I said, you've got to learn to be conservative. If you get one, I'm happy, Brother Darren, but I'm not going to go get in debt.
Oh, no.
I may eventually have to get one. I'm still trying to patch her van up. Because she's just like me. She said, I don't want a car note. You buy that new car and it smells so good and drives so good and it's so shiny and bright, and then that next month the payment book comes in and then it don't smell as good.
It's just stuff.
It don't drive as good anymore. I don't want to be a man that falls because of coveting. Genesis 3 and 6 says, when the woman saw that the tree was good, she saw that it was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did They coveted what God had said they could not have.
Yeah.
You ever notice people, you tell them, wet paint, don't touch.
Always want what you can't touch.
What's going to happen?
They don't touch.
Somebody's going to go over there and there's going to be a fingerprint on that fresh paint because somebody just had to touch it because the sign said don't touch. Both the Old and the New Testament point out that coveting is the root of many forms of sin,
Come on, Pastor.
including lying.
Amen.
2 Kings chapter 5, verses 22 through 25. 2 Kings 5, verses 22 through 25. Coveting includes lying.
And he said, all is well. My master hath sent me, saying, behold, even now there be come to me from Mount Ephraim 2 young men of the sons of the prophets. Give them, I pray thee, a talent of silver, and 2 changes of garments.
Okay?
And Naaman said, be content, take 2
Take 2
talents.
talents.
And he urged him, and bound 2 talents of silver in 2 bags, with 2 changes of garments, and laid them upon 2 of his servants, and they bare them before him.
Okay, next verse.
And when he came to the tower, he took them from their hand, and bestowed them in the house, and he let the men go, and they departed.
Next verse.
But he went in and stood before his master. And Elisha said unto him, whence comest thou, Gehazi? And he said, thy servant went not whither.
I didn't know where you were, boss. Next verse.
And he said unto him, went not mine heart with thee? When the man turned again from his chariot to meet thee, is it a time to receive money, and to receive garments, and oliveyards, and vineyards, and sheep, and oxen, and men servants and maid servants?
Next verse.
The leprosy, therefore, of Naaman shall cleave unto thee, and unto thy seed forever. And he went out from his presence a leper, as white as snow.
Why? Because he lied. His master asked him, where have you been? Oh, I didn't go anywhere.
Where you been?
Our kids were small. I go in the room to be a big commotion. I said, all right, who started this? Every one of them, Brother Lateef, would point at somebody else. What to tell y'all? Everybody gets whipped.
Yeah.
Everybody gets whipped. Can't tell the truth.
Line up.
It always brings forth lying. Joshua 7 and 21, it also brings forth theft. Joshua 7 and 21. I think I gave you those.
I got it.
Okay. When I saw on the spoil of goodly Babylonish garment and 200 shekels of silver and a wedge of gold 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them.
And
And when he coveted them, he took them.
and behold,
And they are hid in the earth in the midst of my tent and the silver under it. Before they ever went to war, God told them, the spoils, don't touch
don't
them.
touch one thing.
They are mine, said the Lord. Don't touch
They
anything.
belong to me.
They let those dead men on the battlefield. And he found that Babylonish garment.
He wanted that cloak.
He found that shekel of silver, that wedge of gold. Did he take it to the leader and say, here, I found this out there, this is God's. I just want to turn it in. I didn't want nobody to steal it. No.
He went and buried.
He went and buried it. It's amazing. Even little children, when they do something wrong, they'll go hide it.
Amen.
It's just an innate trait
Every time.
of our sinful nature. There are tons of people today, somewhere between the North Pole and the South Pole, that say they are part of the church that God built, that harbor things in their hearts toward other people.
Oh God. Yes. Help me, Lord.
And God is not pleased with it.
Help me, Jesus.
He said, how can I say I love God and hate my
I
brother?
hate my own brother.
It causes domestic troubles, Proverbs 15 and 27. I'm hurrying. Proverbs 15, verse 27.
He that is greedy of gain troubleth his own house,
Causes domestic problems in the home.
but he that hateth gifts shall live. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things.
All right, that's good enough. I just wanted to show you it causes trouble in the home.
Amen.
It causes trouble in your own house. Before we do anything, Sister Perkins and I sit down and talk about it.
Yes, sir.
We do. I don't just go make a judgment call and then tell her about it later.
Tell it, Pastor.
She's my helpmeet.
Right.
And so we discuss it. And we're coming from two different ends of the spectrum. When it comes down to the final decision, she said, you're the man of the house. You make that choice.
You make the judgment.
And we'll live with it.
It's your call.
She takes all the weight off her and puts it back on me.
Amen.
Is that something, is that a female trait?
You're the man of the house. My wife does the same.
Ezekiel 22 and 12, John, listen. What coveting will cost you. Ezekiel 22 and 12.
In thee have they taken gifts to shed
To
blood.
shed blood.
Thou hast taken usury and increase, and thou hast greedily gained of thy neighbors by
By
extortion,
extortion, by stealth.
and hast forgotten me, saith the Lord God.
We had a parish deputy out here the other evening, and he said he was trying to catch this guy on this ninja motorcycle that flies through here. I said, well, y'all ain't caught him yet. He said, I can't, my car won't go fast enough to catch him. But he said, I've got another car down here at the Memorial Veterans Memorial deal. He said, I've got one sitting at Bayou Jack. He said, when he comes through here speeding, I'm going to take after him, and I'm going to call the one at Bayou Jack, and he's going to put a roadblock up, we're going to get him this time. So a couple of days later, I said, did y'all get him? He said, no, he took one of these side roads. But he said, I didn't get his license, and we're going to get him. He comes through here sometimes, and if he's not doing 100, he's not doing anything.
You can hear him when he roars.
Somebody pulls out on the road, they're going to kill him. He's going to hit
And
them
we'll kill him.
and kill him. Murder, Ezekiel said in 1 Timothy 6 and 9. Covetousness causes lust. The Word of God said, if a man looketh for a woman and lust after her, in his heart he's already committed adultery. How can we be the church?
Amen. Oh God.
I just read a while ago, he said, all adulterers shall have their part in the lake of fire. All fornicators will have their part in the lake of fire. All thieves, all liars.
Yes, sir. The Bible don't lie.
Read 1 Timothy 6 and 9.
But they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful
And
lusts,
hurtful lust,
which drown men.
which drown you in destruction and perdition. Proverbs 1 and 19 says greed. Greed. That little deputy was telling me, I said, man, what's going on with all the shootings that's going on over in Liberia? He said, well, we got a West End gang, and we got an East End gang. Yeah, I don't know where the dividing line is. Is Ann downtown, or that's uptown? Okay. He said, and they shoot each other just for the sheer joy of it. He He said, because they're trying to gain that dominance. Yeah, they actually take pleasure in it. Proverbs 1:19.
We know the ways of everyone that is greedy of gain, which taketh away the life.
The life of the owners thereof. What you got, I want, and if I got a key to get it,
I'll get it.
Amen.
And that's what we're seeing
Amen.
in our little town.
Amen.
Titus 3:3, and I'm closing.
Oh, no.
Covetousness brings envy. As a part of the church, I can't envy. That's why I said if you get a new car, I'm happy for it.
Amen.
God bless.
I really am. I still like a new vehicle. But I made up my mind many years ago I'll never own another new one.
I don't want to
I'll
know.
try to find me a demonstrator, something that's got a few thousand miles on it, and I can save $10,000 or $15,000 on the price.
That's right.
My brother used to tell me, you're just too cheap to buy a good new one.
Well,
You know what he buys now? Demonstrators.
Ask him.
He said, you were smarter than what I thought you were. He said, I could save $13,000 on that same
Easy.
vehicle that I had just looked at on the
Very
lot
easy.
because it had 2,000 miles. A salesman had been driving. You used to work with car lots.
And what's the time you buy the unit? All the bumps out of it.
All right. Titus 3:3.
Without natural affection, truce breakers, false accusers, incontent, fierce, despisers of those that are good.
That are good.
Say tired.
Yeah, it was Titus, Ron, if you
Oh,
can.
wow.
Chapter 3, verse 3.
I thought
That's okay. That was a good scripture.
yes, sir.
Sorry.
They'll have a purpose.
For
We ourselves also were sometimes foolish, disobedient, deceived, serving divers lusts and pleasures, living in malice and envy, and hateful and hating one another. I want you to understand something. You cannot hate somebody else
Amen.
and be a part of the church.
You can't hate it.
Not the church that Jesus said, on this rock I build my church.
Yeah.
God is a holy God. His church is a holy church.
He has
and
no
we
hate.
have not harbor things in our hearts.
Amen.
If we do,
No prejudice.
we null and void the contract that we have with God.
Amen.
Because we're carrying sin in our
In
hearts.
the kingdom.
You don't have to love them, but you've got to be able to agree to disagree.
Amen. Gotta get along.
Just because I like navy blue, somebody else may not like navy blue.
They hate neighbors.
Disagree.
My wife said, I'm going to go through your closet and I'm going to take all that navy blue stuff and get rid of it. I said, I just like navy blue.
Yes, sir. It looks good.
I like it.
Yes, sir.
So at the cash register the other day, the lady in Walmart, she said, oh, your eyes match your shirt.
That's right.
I said, really? She said, yeah. She said, that looks so good. Blue eyes. She said, you have tinted contacts? I said, no, ma'am, those God gave me.
My baby blue.
You need to wear blue. I said, well, I like blue.
What's it the pretty one?
Uh,
What's the pretty one?
yeah. No. That would not make me mad. No, you won't work with me.
Can't stand Walmart.
The only reason I go is because my wife don't like to go by herself. So I go and I walk and I walk and I walk. And finally I tell her I can't take it no more.
Amen.
I go into my bench in the front. You know, when I was a real young guy, you said, look at them old guys sitting on that bench. Why are they always sitting there? Now I know. They were wore out.
I have arrived.
They had a wife to cook in a shop.
Right. Pastor, it's okay. You know who those blue eyes belong to.
That's right. I know who they belong
Brother Burke,
to. Yes, sir.
Saturday night at work, which passing the dust mop. I was in TJ Maxx and I went up there. I seen a couple that had been in the store. And when I went up to the front, the guy was sitting down. I said, man, let me tell you something. That's where I would be sitting at too. I said, because I told my wife that, I said, you can't keep up with them women when you go up in the store. I said, hey, they can stand up for hours. I said, but when they're at home, they can't stand up at home.
All right. God bless you tonight. We're talking about the church.
I want to be His
We're
church.
trying to help each of us to understand our responsibility.
Yes.
Our responsibility.
I want to be your church, Jesus. So
We
bad.
were overseas. And Sister Perkins had run out of water, and I went down to a little supermarket right down the street. They actually have a senior citizens line in the Philippines. There was nobody in that line. But I looked around, there was all younger people. That young lady, Daddy, over here. Come, Daddy, I'll get you out fast. I just pulled my buggy over there, and I pulled up, I went to unload the buggy. She said, Daddy, you need a wipe?
Daddy, you need a wife?
I said, ma'am, I've got one, 143 years, and I'm not wanting to trade her off. Thank you for asking. But no thanks. Her and I was talking the other day, and she said, I'm going to hardly be cold in the grave. You'll be looking. I said, baby, you can rest in peace. I said, I love you dearly. I believe I can lay my life down for you, but there won't be any more.
Last of the Mohicans.
Praise God.